My fiancé looked me straight in the eye and said that my autistic brother shouldn't come to our wedding because he might mess up the aesthetic. I nodded like I was agreeing, then I cancelled everything and spent the honeymoon budget, all 20 grand of it, on a cruise for him and me instead. Listen, I'm not here to earn pity points. I'm just telling you how it went down. I'm 34, been with my fiancée, Amanda, for 3 years. She's 31, works in real estate, and she's one of those people who talks about branding like she's a walking Pinterest board. I knew she cared about appearances. I just didn't realize how far that obsession would stretch. Then there's my brother, Kyle. He's 28, autistic, and yeah, he has his own rhythm in life. He gets loud when he's excited, rocks back and forth when he's thinking, and he's basically a walking encyclopedia when it comes to trains. If there's a locomotive within a 100-mile radius, he'll name the engine, the model, and what year the thing was retired. I love it. Our parents died in a car accident 6 years ago. Ever since then, it's been me and him against the world. He lives in a group home not too far away, but I'm there every Sunday, without fail. Doesn't matter if I'm sick or busy. Every Sunday is his. Amanda knew all of that when we started dating. She even met him early on, 4th date. He called her pretty the first time he saw her. She smiled, said thank you, and then, she patted him on the head. Like he was a golden retriever. I should have paid attention to that moment. Fast forward a bit. 4 months ago, I proposed. She cried, said yes, the whole Instagram-worthy moment. And from that second on, wedding planning turned into a part-time job. She wanted a huge wedding, 200 guests, designer decor, dramatic lighting, the whole luxury showroom fantasy. We agreed to split the costs equally. Her parents threw in $15,000, and I used part of my inheritance from my parents. Altogether, we were looking at a $60,000 production. I was putting down more money than she was, but I didn't care. I just wanted to get married and have Kyle standing beside me. That was non-negotiable. I told her that on the day I proposed. She said, of course. That's beautiful. Right, beautiful. We toured venues. Sampled cakes. Picked out invitations. Kyle even came along to one of the tastings. He got frosting on his shirt, giggled, and rocked with excitement over how good it tasted. Amanda smiled, but it wasn't a real smile. It was the kind you give when someone is telling you a 3-hour story you don't want to hear. Tight. Forced. I ignored it. Then about 2 months ago, she started dropping these casual little remarks. Stuff like, do you think Kyle will be able to sit still during the ceremony? Or, maybe we should have him sit in the back, in case he needs a break? Every time she brought it up, I shut it down. He's my best man. He sits right next to me. She'd shut up for a while, but I could practically hear her brain calculating. 6 weeks before the wedding, we're addressing invitations. I'm writing my brother's name on one when she suddenly stops writing and goes, I've been thinking about Kyle. My stomach sank. I knew exactly where this was headed. I put down my pen. What about him? She tilted her head and slipped into this fake soft voice she uses when she wants to sound gentle, but really she's just being manipulative. I'm worried. The big crowd, the photos, the pressure, it might be overwhelming for him. Don't you think he'd be more comfortable somewhere quiet? He'll be fine, I said. Calm. Firm. He's been to weddings before. Not as the best man, she murmured. People will be looking at him as he walks down the aisle. What if he gets nervous? Then I'll walk with him, I said. He's my brother. She tried to reach for my hand. I didn't let her. Then she hit me with it. I'm not trying to hurt your feelings, but this is our day. Our photos are memories that last forever. He just doesn't fit the vision. The vision. Those 2 words stuck in the air like poison. What vision? I asked. She shrugged like it was obvious. You know, everything elegant. Coordinated. The aesthetic we've been planning. Including my brother, I said. She clammed up and insisted that she was just thinking about what's best for him. I knew she wasn't. But I let it go, hoping, stupidly, that she'd drop it. Huge mistake. For weeks before the wedding, her parents invite us over for dinner. Her mom is buzzing about flower arrangements and the color palette and how the photographer is a genius who only works with people who respect his artistic process. Her dad jokes that it sounds more like a fashion shoot than a wedding. Her mom shoots lasers at him with her eyes. Then the topic turns to the wedding party. Her mom asks about tuxes, I say everything's handled, including Kyle's, and Amanda jumps in with, well, we're still figuring out Kyle's role. I stared at her. No, we're not. He's my best man. Her jaw tightened like she was chewing nails. Her mom tried to do that polite wrinkled brow face and said, well, I'm sure he'll do wonderfully, but you know, Denise's son is autistic, and when her daughter got married, he sat with family instead of being in the ceremony. It was better for everyone. Better for who? I stood up. I didn't shout. But the whole room went cold. Kyle is my best man. He will be standing next to me. End of story. Amanda followed me out to the car and burst into tears. Told me I was being unreasonable. Told me she just wanted our wedding to be perfect. I told her it would be perfect, with my brother standing next to me. She went silent. The kind of silence that doesn't mean surrender. It means something worse. A storm was coming. And I didn't even know how bad it would get. 3 weeks before the wedding, things went from bad to worse. We were sitting in a little boutique studio with our photographer, you know the kind, black turtleneck, minimalist decor, every camera looks like it costs a semester of college tuition. He's walking us through shot lists and angles, talking about lighting like he's curing diseases with it. We flip through samples of those glossy, magazine-style wedding portraits, posed, symmetrical, everyone perfect. Then he gets to the wedding party lineup. So here's what we usually do, he explains, pointing at a sample photo. Bride and groom in the center, bridesmaids and groomsmen flanking outward, balance the heights for symmetry. Then some candids, some creative editorial shots. He taps the page. These are the images that last forever. We want them flawless. Amanda nods enthusiastically. She's practically vibrating with excitement, like he just announced she's getting her own Vogue spread. Then, she looks over at me. Quick glance. Something calculating. And she asks, so casually it makes my skin crawl. What if one of the groomsmen has special needs? It felt like the floor dropped out. The photographer doesn't even pause. He just shifts gears like he's answering a question about bouquet colors. If they can stand still, follow direction, they're fine. But, if there's any chance of distraction, you might consider minimizing their presence in the group shots. Some with them, some without. You get the best of both worlds that way. Best of both worlds. Like my brother was some inconvenient piece of furniture that could be moved in and out of frame. I didn't explode. I didn't curse. I just stood up. We're done here. Amanda's eyes go wide. She tries to grab my arm. I shake her off and head for the door. Her heels click after me across the parking lot like tiny hammers. You're being ridiculous, she hisses. Am I? I turn to her. You just asked him how to crop my brother out of our wedding photos. I was asking a question. Because you're embarrassed, I shoot back. Just say it, Amanda. You're embarrassed of him. I'm not, she insists, and tears start to fall, real ones this time, I think. You're twisting everything. I love Kyle. I just want one single day where everything looks beautiful and perfect, and I don't have to worry. Worry about what? She hesitates. Then spills the truth. About him having an episode. Making a scene. Ruining the ceremony. That was it. That was the sentence she'd been trying to dress up for weeks. He's not going to ruin anything, I said. You don't know that. Yeah, I told her quietly. I do. Because I know him. And you don't. We didn't talk for 3 days after that. I stayed at my own place. We'd been splitting our time between apartments, planning to move in together after the wedding. Those 3 days were the quietest, angriest days I've had in years. Every comment she made, every side eye, every fake smile, it all lined up in my head like puzzle pieces falling into place. On day 4, she called. Apologized. Said she'd been stressed. Said she didn't mean it the way it sounded. Begged me to come over. She made dinner, dim lights, soft music, the whole peace offering vibe. We talked. She promised she was okay with Kyle being my best man. She said she'd been out of line. I wanted to believe her. And the stupid thing is, part of me did. But 2 weeks before the wedding, she proved who she really was. We were doing our final walkthrough at the venue. Amanda, her mom, her sister Jess, the coordinator, and me. The coordinator is showing us where everyone sits during the ceremony, pointing out rows, aisles, arrangements. She gestures toward the front row. Immediate family sits here, she explains. Parents, siblings. Amanda cuts her off. Actually, my fiancé's brother won't be sitting. He's part of the wedding party. The coordinator nods, jotting a note. Wonderful. Best man? Yes, I say. She smiles at me. That's lovely. So far, so good. Then we walk into the reception hall. There's a diagram of the head table, long, elevated, seats for the entire wedding party. Amanda studies it like she's solving a crime. Then she asks, is there any way to do a smaller head table? Just bride, groom, maid of honor, and one groomsman. The coordinator's face scrunches with confusion. That's unusual. Most couples want the whole wedding party up there. I know, Amanda says, waving her hand. But space is tight and it might look cleaner. Cleaner. That single word hit harder than a scream. Cleaner than having my brother up there? I ask, stepping closer. She doesn't look at me. I'm just exploring options. Options that exclude him again, I say. Her mom tries to smooth it over. Oh, Amanda, don't fuss. I'm sure it's fine either way. Her sister Jess doesn't even look up from her phone. Pretend she didn't hear it. The coordinator feels the tension thickening. We could do a sweetheart table instead, she offers. Just the two of you. Then the wedding party can sit elsewhere. Amanda lights up instantly. Yes, that could work. That way Kyle can sit with other family, be more comfortable. That's when I walked out. Didn't say a word. Just turned and left. Again. Amanda chased after me. Stop running away every time. I'm not running, I said. I'm leaving before I say something I'll regret. Like what? She demanded. I looked her right in the eyes. Like calling you a shallow person who cares more about pictures than people. She slapped me. Not enough to really hurt. Just enough to shock us both. She gasped, covered her mouth, started apologizing immediately. But I wasn't staying. I drove straight to see Kyle. No phone call, no warning. He was in the group home's common room, watching a train documentary. His eyes lit up when he saw me. You weren't supposed to come until Sunday, he said. I know, I told him. I just wanted to see you. We watched trains together. He told me about locomotives with names longer than my grocery list. Then he asked about the wedding, excited about his tux, excited about standing with me. I've been practicing standing still, he said proudly. Then he demonstrated, feet together, arms straight down, huge grin on his face. It broke me a little. So I told him the truth. Amanda doesn't want you at the wedding. His face fell. Just dropped flat. Why not? She says you don't fit the aesthetic. He rocked slightly, thinking. Processing. Then asked, what does that mean? It means, I said, trying not to choke on it, she cares more about how things look than about people who matter. Kyle nodded slowly. Then he looked at me with this clarity you don't expect from anyone, autistic or not. Then you don't have to marry her. I laughed, but it came out bitter. You're right. I don't. He kept looking at me with those straightforward eyes. Mom and Dad wouldn't like her. No, I said softly. They really wouldn't. I stayed another hour. Drove home. Sat in silence. Thought about everything. 3 years with Amanda. Yes, there were good moments. But this? This wasn't a mistake. It was a reveal. She didn't just have preferences. She didn't just like symmetry or elegance. She wanted my brother to disappear. Hidden. Minimized. Cropped out. And once I realized that, the decision became easy. That night, I knew exactly what I needed to do. The next morning, I woke up with absolute clarity. No second guessing, no what-ifs. I grabbed my phone, made coffee, and started dismantling an entire wedding. First call, the venue. I need to cancel. They tried the usual spiel about policies and deposits. I cut them off. Keep the deposit. Consider it a tip. Next call, photographer. Cancelled. Deposit gone. Caterer. Cancelled. Band. Cancelled. Florist. Cake. Chair rentals. Table settings. If they were on the invoice, they got the axe. One by one, like dominoes falling. In 3 hours, I burned through about $8,000 in lost deposits. You'd think I'd feel sick doing that. Instead, it felt like someone had finally broken a weight off my chest. My hands were steady. My breathing was calm. Relief, pure, clean relief, was worth every cent. Then I made one more call. The cruise line. We'd booked a 2-week Mediterranean honeymoon, my treat, paid fully under my name as my gift to us. 20 grand. Suite with a balcony. I'd been proud of that purchase once. Not anymore. I asked if the reservation could be changed. They said yes, there'd be a fee, and they needed the new traveler's ID. Perfect, I said. I took Amanda's name off the reservation. I put Kyle's name on it. Sent over his ID, passport copy, medical info. Asked about accessible suite upgrades. Chose the best one they offered. Extra space. Better bathroom setup. Ocean view. I wanted him comfortable. I wanted him spoiled. When everything was confirmed, I sat there and just exhaled. Hard. We were set to sail in 5 days. Then I texted Amanda. We need to talk. Come to my place tonight. She showed up at 6, wearing that shaky smile people use when they're scared they already lost. She started immediately. I've been thinking. I was wrong. I want Kyle front and center. Whatever makes you happy. I didn't even hesitate. Too late. Her smile twitched. What do you mean? The wedding's cancelled. She blinked like she didn't understand the language. What? I cancelled everything this morning. Venue, photographer, caterer, all of it. Her face drained white like a page being erased. You cancelled our wedding? Yes. She started shaking. You can't do that. I already did. Most contracts were in my name. She broke then, real tears, open sobbing, full meltdown. She screamed that I had no right, that she and her parents spent money, that I was ruining her life over a misunderstanding. Not a misunderstanding, I said. You've shown me exactly who you are. I apologized, she shouted. And you never changed your behavior, I replied. Words are cheap. You had weeks to show me you meant it. You didn't. She collapsed into begging. She'd do anything. Kyle could be best man. He could sit anywhere. He could be in every photo. You don't understand, I said calmly. This isn't about seating charts. It's about respect. She kept crying. I waited until she burned herself out. When she finally went quiet, I told her the last part. I'm taking Kyle on the honeymoon. We leave in 5 days. She stared at me like I had stabbed her. You're taking your brother on our honeymoon? Yeah, I said. I am. That was supposed to be for us. I paid for it. It's in my name. I can take whoever I want. You can't just give it away. I didn't give it away. I upgraded it. She went ghost white. You're sick. Maybe, I shrugged. But Kyle deserves a vacation more than you ever did. Get out, she hissed. No, I said, opening the door. You get out of my apartment. She left, slamming the door so hard a picture fell off the wall. I sat down, numb. Then angry. Then calm. Then nothing at all. That was day 1. Day 2 and 3 were fallout. Her parents called, I let it ring. Her sister texted, blocked. Her friend swarmed me online, deleted my accounts. Amanda called 47 times, left 18 voicemails ranging from sobbing apologies to screaming threats. I saved every single one. Just in case. Day 4, I drove to see Kyle. Sat him down, explained everything. He didn't get it at first. What about Amanda? What about the wedding? It's not happening, I said. Why? Because she doesn't deserve to be family. And you and me? We're going on a trip instead. Where? Mediterranean. 2 weeks. Italy, Greece, Croatia. His eyes widened like sunrise. That means we'll see trains in other countries, probably. I laughed. Yeah, buddy. Probably. He hugged me. Tight. This is better than a wedding. Day 5. Night before we flew out. Amanda showed up at my building. I'd changed the locks, but she still had the gate code. She was outside yelling at the buzzer. Ethan. Open the door. We need to talk. Please. Don't do this. My neighbor stuck his head out and asked if I wanted him to call the cops. I shook my head. No. She'll leave eventually. And she did. She left a letter taped to my door. I didn't read it. I tossed it. Maybe I should have kept it, but I was past caring. Then came the cruise. Kyle had never flown before. Nervous at first, then electrified with curiosity. He took 1,000 photos, the wings, the seats, the clouds, the map. At the Rome airport, he smiled so wide it looked like it hurt. On the ship, when he saw our suite and the endless blue horizon outside the balcony, he whispered, "This is the best day of my life." We spent 2 weeks just being. No screaming, no judgment, no stress. No one telling him to tone it down, act normal, ruin nothing. Our first port was Naples. We toured Pompeii. Kyle was obsessed with the ancient ruts in the stone where carts had once rolled. He took photos of every single groove. He explained them to strangers. People smiled at him. The guide called his enthusiasm beautiful. For 2 weeks, the world didn't treat him like a burden. For 2 weeks, no one cared about aesthetic. And I realized something. Family isn't who looks good standing beside you in photos. Family is who stands with you, period. Rome was one of our last big stops. We stood in the shadow of the Colosseum, that huge monument echoing with history and thousands of tourists. People were everywhere, tour guides shouting, cameras clicking, kids weaving through the crowd. Kyle tried to absorb it all at once, eyes darting left and right. Too much noise. Too many bodies moving around us. His breathing got fast, he rocked on his heels. I recognized the signs instantly. I guided him to a quiet little corner behind a stone column. No rush. No pressure. No one telling him to pull it together for appearances. We just sat. I let him rock, breathe, take his time. A few minutes passed, maybe more, but he settled himself. When he finally looked up at me, calm again, I just smiled. "You ready?" He nodded. We went on. That's how it should be with him. Not judgment. Just patience. Greece ended up being his favorite. Especially Santorini. Those white buildings stacked on cliffs, rooftops the color of the sky, he said they looked like train stations from a fairy tale. We ate dinner overlooking the caldera, sunset turning the whole island gold. He ordered what I ordered, moussaka, because he trusted me to know what tastes good. He loved it so much he asked, "Can we get this again tomorrow?" So we did. Twice. On the ship, he made a friend, one of the staff, a guy from the Philippines who also loved trains. They bonded instantly, talking an hour straight about bullet trains versus freight trains, each more excited than the last. I just sat back and watched my brother be exactly who he was, without anyone wincing at his volume or side-eyeing his rocking or treating his joy like an inconvenience. Every time the ship's horn blasted before leaving a port, he'd bolt to the balcony and wave goodbye like he was personally commanding the ocean. "This is the best, Ethan." He said it every single time. And every single time, I believed him all over again. It never got old, watching him love life like that. We spent hours just sitting on that balcony, watching waves roll into endless blue. Kyle would tell me train facts, like how many tons a locomotive could haul or how diesel engines changed history. Then I'd counter with dumb jokes. Why did the train conductor get in trouble? Because he went off track. He laughed every time. Formal night came on the ship. I'd packed a button down for him, slacks for me. We cleaned up pretty well. The ship's photographer stopped us, asked to take a picture. When he looked at the photos, he smiled and said, "You gentlemen look distinguished." Kyle lit up like he'd won an award. "These are better than wedding photos," he said. "Yeah," I told him. "They really are." The mistake came on the 5th day. I turned on my phone while we were docked and connected to Wi-Fi. Notifications exploded, texts, emails, voicemails. Most were from Amanda. She'd left 31 voicemails total. A few were apologies, sobbing, begging. "Ethan, I'm so sorry. I love you. I love Kyle. We can fix this. Please call me." Then came angry ones. "You humiliated me. Everyone knows you canceled 5 days before. My parents are out $15K. You're a coward." Then manic. "We can have a small wedding. Just family. Kyle can do whatever he wants. Please." Then cold. "We're consulting lawyers. You defrauded us. You will be hearing from our attorney." That was the last one. I deleted every message. Turned off the phone. Didn't tell Kyle a word. I wasn't about to let her ruin something that, for once, belonged to us. When we finally came home, we were tanned, rested, genuinely happy. Kyle didn't want to go back to his group home. "Can I stay with you instead?" I hugged him. "I wish you could, buddy, but you've got your routine there. Your friends. And we'll take more trips. I promise." He nodded and accepted it, hugging me tight before heading inside. Best 2 weeks ever. Same, Kyle. Same. Back at my apartment, I sifted through a mountain of mail. Among it was a letter from a law office. Her parents were threatening to sue. Emotional distress, financial damages, breach of promise, the whole dramatic list. I called a lawyer. Told him the whole story. He laughed. "You called off a wedding," he said. "That's legal. Happens all the time, and usually for good reason. Gifts are gifts. No one gets to sue to take gifts back just because they're angry. They're bluffing." He told me to send him the letter and relax. So I did. A couple of weeks later, another letter came. From Amanda. Handwritten. 10 pages long. It read like a journal, therapy sessions, childhood pressure, perfectionism drilled into her by her parents. She said she was trying to break those habits, trying to fix herself. She apologized to Kyle, to me. She said she understood if I never responded, but she wanted me to know she was getting help. She ended with, "Kyle is lucky to have you." I didn't respond. Not because I hate her. I don't. I don't feel anything anymore. People show you who they are. When they do, believe them. I did. And I chose my brother. A month after we got back, I ran into Amanda's sister, Jess, at a coffee shop. It was one of those encounters where you both notice each other at the same time and pretend you didn't. But she walked over anyway, latte in hand, awkward smile. Look, I know this is weird, she said. I just wanted to say I get why you did it. What you did, Amanda was out of line. I saw it. I should have said something. Why didn't you? I asked. She shrugged. It's easier to stay quiet in a family. Yeah, I told her. But silence is agreement. She nodded, eyes down. Then she added, for what it's worth, she's a mess. A lot of people heard what she said about Kyle. Didn't sit well. Good, I said. Not angry. Just honest. Jess hesitated a second, then asked, so you really took him on the honeymoon? I did. She let out a breathy laugh. That's either the pettiest or the most beautiful thing I've ever heard. Maybe it's both, I said. She left after that. I grabbed my coffee and went to work like it was any other day. Because it was. Life moved on. The fallout was interesting, though. Some friends backed Amanda at first. Said I overreacted. Said I shouldn't have canceled so close to the date. Said I embarrassed her, blindsided her. Those people eventually heard the whole story. Most changed sides real quick. A couple didn't. They said even if she was wrong, what I did was cruel. I let those friendships go. If someone thought protecting my brother was cruelty, we were living in different worlds. Others reached out to support me. Guys from my gym. Coworkers who'd met Kyle at holiday parties. My old college roommate called to tell me he wished someone had stood up for his sister like that. That one meant something. Word got around. Small community, smaller grapevine. Amanda's ruining the aesthetic comment spread fast. Turns out real estate depends on people liking you. And people don't like someone who treats a disabled adult like a blemish on a photo shoot. Her sales tanked. Heard that months later. Did I feel good about it? Not really. Did I feel bad? Not really that either. Actions have consequences. Always. A few months after the cruise, I met someone new. At a bookstore, of all places. She was buying a book on autism because her nephew had just been diagnosed. We talked. I mentioned Kyle. She asked questions, real ones. Not polite background noise. Genuine curiosity. Genuine kindness. I told her about Kyle on our second date. She asked to meet him. She brought him cookies. He loved her immediately. That told me everything I needed to know. It's been almost a year now. Wedding day would have been next month. Instead, Kyle and I are planning our next trip, Japan. He's obsessed with the bullet trains. And honestly, I just want to watch him experience them. Amanda sent me one more message a couple months ago. Short. No theatrics. I hope you're happy. I am. No regrets. Not the cancelled wedding, not the lost deposits, not the screaming at my door, not the lawyers, none of it. Because Kyle comes first. Always has. Always will. Anyone who can't understand that doesn't belong in my life. Looking back, maybe I should have noticed earlier. The head pat on our fourth date like he was a pet, the tight smiles, the micro comments dressed as concern. I had on rose-colored glasses. But glasses don't change reality. They just tint it. And the second she said he'd ruin the aesthetic? That was the moment the colors peeled away. Some words can't be taken back. People ask if I feel sorry for her. Sometimes. She got lost in the photo shoot version of life. Weddings make that easy. They stop being about marriage and start being about centerpieces and Instagram angles and what looks good frozen in time. She cared more about the picture than the people. But that doesn't excuse trying to erase my brother from the biggest day of my life. Doesn't excuse weeks of manipulation dressed as worry. She made choices. I made mine. Here's what I learned. You don't compromise on your core people. Once you let someone treat them like less, you lose something you can't get back. You start shrinking parts of yourself to fit someone else's image. You become someone you don't recognize. Kyle has been my core since the day he was born. I was 6 when my mom handed him to me in the hospital, showing me how to support his head. You're a big brother now, she said. That means something. And it meant everything. When he was diagnosed at 3, some relatives whispered about institutions. My parents shut that down immediately. He stays with us, they said. They taught me that family doesn't get hidden away to make life prettier for other people. You adjust. You protect. You love them louder. When our parents died, I stood between their graves and made a promise, I'll take care of him. For the rest of our lives. He stood beside me, clueless about death, asking when they would wake up. And I told him they wouldn't, but I would still be here. Always. Amanda wanted me to break that promise. She didn't say it like that. But she meant it like that. A smaller role. A back row seat. Less noticeable. Less seen. Less inconvenient. You can't build a marriage on minimizing someone you love. The best decision I ever made was buying Kyle that ticket. Seeing him light up in every port. Laughing on the balcony. Trying to speak Italian to a waiter and getting applauded for it. Watching him feel safe and seen and happy. That's the only aesthetic that matters. The look on my brother's face when he's living his life. Everything else is noise. Amanda moved to another city, from what I've heard. Fresh start. I hope she finds what she's looking for. Truly. Just glad it's not me. Kyle asks about her sometimes. Is Amanda nice now? I don't know, buddy, I tell him. Haven't talked to her. He nods, thinks for a second, then grins. Oh, I like your new girlfriend better. She likes trains. Me too, Kyle, I say. Me too. And that's it. That's the whole story. I canceled a wedding, took my brother on a cruise, and never looked back. Kyle's meeting me for dinner tonight. We're planning Japan. He's bringing printouts of train schedules. I'm bringing patience. It's a good trade. Better than a marriage built on looks and resentment. Better than compromise that costs someone their dignity. Better than settling. And honestly, it's the easiest choice I ever made.